It was a game changer, a channel maker. This video has done 130 million views on YouTube.
And that's one of our goals too with Budo Brothers, is to break it more and more and more into the mainstream.
It was starts with what would the ultimate Kali stick look like?
Alright guys, we are back with part 2 as promised of my discussion with Canada's own Budo Brothers. That's Kyle and Eric, and in case you missed part 1, I'll leave that link right up here for you guys so you can check it out. Not now, but right now. Then come on back for the second part, unless you're one of those people who doesn't mind watching stuff out of order.
Sure, you're out of order. Out of order? I show you out of order.
Anyway, this round, we're gonna get more into the teaching modules and specific instructors featured on the Budo Brothers site, including some familiar faces like Sifu Kevin Goat. And please do me that little favor of showing some love in the comment section. Also, give this video a like and a thumbs up, and share it if you don't mind, because that's of course how we continue to grow the community.
And you know this, man?
And stand by, because at the end of this video, we'll get some great words of wisdom from these guys on how to build a martial arts brand and more, so don't miss it. Okay, let's do it. Who was the next person that you guys linked up with? Was there a particular order? Or
Felix Roes. Oh my God, that man.
Master Felix.
That man is one of the most beautiful humans I've ever met. GM Felix Roes is our first experience with the Filipino martial arts, and obviously you could tell Filipino martial arts is a big part of our company, right? Because
yes,
when we saw him moving those sticks and the weaponry and how it was, we got linked with him through a gentleman named Tom Boss, who's another good friend of ours, and he introduced us to Felix. And so we went down to Long Beach and we started filming with him, and man, it was just such a contrast in styles, right? Like the Filipino martial arts is so like flashy and it's like, you know, moving, and it's just it flows well with like hip hop. It's just this like, it's got its own life to it too, right? So it was a beautiful art, and we loved working with Felix Roes.
Yeah, the proficiency level. So now it's like that's kind of the next stage of the game for me, and so challenging. Eskrima, knife instruction, and just, you know, working with those weapons in particular is just so challenging, but just so real to me, because it's like, I don't know if one ever becomes, and is like, obviously, you know, like some people become just true masters of it, but there's always, like with knife defense, it's just always that element, because the knife is always live. So there's never that just one size fits all sort of approach to it. And I love, like I said, you guys are in the same way. I love to learn. So anything where I see it's like, wow, it's like, you know, the knife proficiency thing is just one of those things where it's just like, I'm always trying to get better and better at it. When I see guys doing it, I'm like, super kudos, because just knife is one of the hardest, and stick are one of the hardest things to me.
And the coordination, you know, the coordination that it takes, the balance, the reflexes, the speed, the timing, like all the attributes that you get from it is truly beautiful to watch and beautiful to experience. And both Kyle and I had known very little about Filipino martial arts before this point, but we got to experience it. We got to put on all the armor and try sparring with his sons. I now can officially say I know what it's like to be inside a blender. Because it was just
right. You're just taking hits, right?
You don't even know what's happening.
I learned very quickly we're not ready for those dog brother fights.
No. It's crazy, right?
Those guys are crazy.
I have some classmates who do dog brothers, and when they show me the videos and stuff, and we've done some seminars with one of the guys, Crafty, who like does one of the heads of the dog brothers. It's like, yeah, you guys are just on a different level. I don't know that I'm ready. It's like, and I'm too old for this part at this point. Like just going out there and just getting clobbered with sticks every weekend. The way these guys do it, I give them props, but I'm with you. It's like, yeah.
and we got the luxury of seeing some of the best fighters in the world, and like you could just see, like when it's like a pro MMA fighter or something like that, their intent, their intensity, how they're doing the skill is so much different than people who are just like in a class or in it for 2 days a week. It's just like a complete, martial arts is so different depending on what you're wanting to get out of it.
No, absolutely. Since you brought up sticks, in 1 second, I bought your Phenolic sticks.
Oh, the Phenolics!
Oh,
Nice!
I bought these, especially when I started my Eskrima work like 2-3 years ago now. And I was like, because you get the wood ones, and after a while, they started chipping, they break, and all this. I'm like, saw your ad for this. I'm like, wait, I gotta buy a pair of these. And for nothing else, maybe I can't use them all the time in class, but just a sturdy pair that I can really just go to town with. And these things,
aren't they so fun to flow with and train with though? Those things are.
Oh, these are nice. Oh, these are nice. These things are amazing. So I gotta ask you guys, whose idea was it? Was it both you guys, or was it that need there's like another hole in the market where it's like, let's get some?
I can't take any credit for a lot of the product designs. Like that is one of Eric's true abilities. He has this brain where he pulls these ideas out of space and he creates these things. And like something so simple as putting silicone on an inlay on a indestructible stick.
Yep.
To make it not have that reverb, and it's just it's so simple, and they're slick, they're so nice. But that is Eric's baby.
But I love it. I love the creative process, and I'm lucky because my background's actually in mechanical engineering. So I have all the tools to be able to create software, 3-dimensional shapes, and build things without ever picking up a hammer. So I can just play, I can get creative, I can dream up something and then bringing it into a virtual world. And then once I'm satisfied with how it looks virtually, I then bring it into the physical world. That process blows my mind, that I have the ability to dream something up and then birth it into the world. That to me is so profound. And when I'm doing it, I am at my best.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're in that zone. You're in that zone, that creative zone. So your idea for the sticks, was it because you guys started working with the Eskrima? Was that it? Were you just like...
Well, yeah, I actually I can't remember, a friend of mine at one of my dojos, one of the schools I was at, had a Phenolic stick. And she's like, oh man, it's so hard, feel it. And I remember it. And I was training with it. It's like, it's kind of, it gave you a little bit of that shock. So I loved the material, but I didn't like how it hit, it kind of had a bit too much reverb. I'm daydreaming, and what if? It always starts with what if, or what would the ultimate Kali stick look like?
I want to talk a little bit more about the instructor modules, because you guys have so many, we'd be here for hours talking about them. But one that struck me, because again, I'm doing Krav Maga, and I saw you had a little bit of a series with John Whitman on there. Which I thought was really cool, and you guys are doing gun redirects. I'm gonna pop this up real quick.
This technique actually will not break the finger. It'll cause discomfort rolling. Tony, put your finger inside the trigger guard. What would happen in this technique is when you make this redirection and get here, when you snap it back, you're actually gonna jam the trigger guard right in the direction of the finger. So it's not gonna break. Understood? It's gonna hurt your partner, especially doing 20, 30 reps. So don't put your finger there, but those of you who practice the technique itself, this technique is not going to break the bad guy's finger. It's going to cause abrasions, it's going to hurt it a little bit, cause pain, which is fine with me, but it's not going to break it. We're clear on that?
And it's really cool. It's a cool breakdown. We do these redirects, and especially with gun and a lot of gun and knife work. But it's cool to see, because Whitman, he's so known for being one of the prominent instructors in the U.S., really bringing Krav Maga to light out here. It's cool to see. Number one for me is like, okay, I'm doing the technique right, because I see like the main instructor doing it, and it's like a lot of similar thoughts. But it's also some of this the breakdown, which is on the realistic end of it. It's like, yeah, he's right. You're not going to break someone's finger doing the defense the way we do it. But people go, oh, safety and training, you might break your finger. It's like, would you? So it's cool that you have that element when you guys are doing these modules. Is that something, when you were looking and kind of met up with him, were you kind of looking for more of that realistic play also?
Well, so we came across him at Dave Kovar's event in Sacramento, ProMac event. And we're actually going to it again this year, and we're actually speaking at it. So that's our first time being up there at it. But when we saw Whitman there, we have always been scared to put gun stuff in our feed because it's a very serious topic.
Absolutely.
And it's one where we don't have a lot of knowledge around ourselves.
Right. And there's a lot of BS, not to cut you off, there's a lot of BS techniques out there too. So that's
why it becomes such a polarizing topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in Canada, like how people carry and use firearms is way different than when we go to the States.
Because you can't carry.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact,
right.
owning a handgun is illegal unless your grandfather's here now. And so,
right.
You know I can do that, did you? Put your hands up. Put your hands up. I ain't gonna kill you this time. I'm just gonna kick your ass.
So when we saw him, we was like, all right, this is the guy of this in Krav Maga. So we are comfortable putting his gun stuff in our feed to start with, right? Because
see how it does.
He's the guy. And like we put it in and it was still very controversial, polarizing comments about it. But yeah, it was our first experience with it. We still don't know how we feel about gun skills yet, because again, we don't know enough to be like, that's good, that's bad, and like we're scared to not do it its justice.
And we're always experimenting. We're always trying to film and document new things, and we try our best to listen to the market. You know, what do people want to actually learn? Because at the end of the day, that's our job, is to provide value in the content that we create. Otherwise, people won't watch it. They're wasting their time. If we're not there to teach you something that's helpful, insightful, that inspires you, that is meaningfully educational, you're wasting your time. And so we always want to make sure that all the content that we're putting out hits one of three buckets. It either entertains, educates, or inspires. And that's when you can get a nice, real viral video. When you hit all three, they go nuts. You got an education piece. Hey, it was entertaining. I could watch this all day, and I'm inspired to take action, inspired to share it with a friend of mine. That seems to be a bit of a secret sauce to what we've been putting out.
And Krav Maga, our first Krav Maga instructor we ever put on was Gershon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gershon. And then we were with Whitman, and then we recently did stuff with Ryan Hoover. So we've been dabbling in Krav Maga, and we love filming this stuff. It's just, it feels so much more real and intense and lively, and like more self-defense vein, more immediate threat, more like day-to-day type activities, you know? That Krav Maga is a great art.
Right. We like to say in Krav, it's like it's more stress on the martial, less on the art.
Yes.
And I found it to be a great compliment when I started doing it, because I did traditional martial arts for now 25 plus years and love it and still do. But that element, like you're saying, of real world kind of play and what we would do when it's not just, sport associated, or, self-defense, just straight, like rules are just thrown out there, or thrown away, and you've just got to fight for your life in certain circumstances. That really became a great compliment for me. So it's like, there's still parts, of course, the traditional melds very well, but then there's also that, the stuff that you do pick up when you're gun, knife, it's like you can't really play around. You've got to be 100% there in the moment, or you could get stabbed, you could get shot. So it's just a different kind of reality base, right?
And that's why we love putting out self-defense content. And we got to give a shout out to the self-defense GOAT.
Yes.
Kevin GOAT. Yeah, I mean, he's got, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And it was like a cheat code when we started dropping his stuff. The market just loved that dude. It was a freaking rocket ship. How he speaks, how he can condense information and make it applicable to people, educate, entertain, and inspire. Man, he really...
He's got a recipe. He's figured it out.
And that's really what I built my own curriculum on. I was like, okay, we need to build the best reactions, the safest reactions, because I was tired of teaching stuff that only worked for people my size.
Okay, for the sake of teaching, we're going to switch roles plus.
Man, so it's like it's perfect. And when I talked to, and like I was gonna ask you about him, I was going there next with you guys. So training with Kevin Go and like doing the instructor modules. He's such, first of all, just such a skilled guy, but such a humble guy.
For
right?
sure.
And it's like, yeah, he's a tall, freaking hell of a dude, but at the same time,
He makes us look so short.
Right.
Like on the videos, so it's like, is he training with hobbits? It's like,
But
oh,
he's
look at
so mild-mannered that you don't expect this guy to literally just come up and just whoop your ass the way he does. But at the same time, he's got the stature, right? So, yeah, talk to me a little bit more about working with him, because I definitely was going there, yeah.
Well, you know, we had filmed Kevin Go way back.
Yes.
You know, it was probably, 2017 or something like that?
Yeah, like early
Days. Because we actually used to do an online magazine, and we would feature a new martial artist every month. And we featured Kevin Go.
Yeah, and when he was doing his Wing Chun.
Yeah.
And he had nothing to do with self-defense at that time. But then when COVID hit,
he was the only one who didn't shut down his school. It was the only place we could go train.
Yeah.
Right,
So we
that's
started,
right. You told me that.
We started training with him, like ourselves, actually training with Kevin. And then, you know, we said, like, let's do a self-defense digital seminar.
Well, at first we just wanted to, hey, you want to film some stuff?
Yeah.
Like, it started really, it was actually quite organic, because it was, you know, we were training privately with him.
Yeah.
And it was just, we were learning so much, and it was a much different style than we were used to. The training methodology we were really vibing with. And so then we were kind of, since it was COVID, we couldn't travel, everything was shut down. And so we were like, hey, we're kind of running low on content. Let's try and film some stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't really know what it was going to be. We just wanted to film some content for...
We didn't even know it was going to be called Self-Defense with Kevin Go.
Not at all.
We were thinking of like all these cool names again. We're like, let's just keep it simple.
Yeah. Well, what did it for us was we started putting this content out, and then it just got so much traction. People loved it. And it wasn't until this one video went
Headlock video.
bananas. The Headlock video.
That video changed everything.
It was a game changer, a channel maker. This video has done 130 million views on YouTube. 130 million views.
And I was just about to say, and we definitely talked about this when I interviewed him. He calls it the golden ticket, right? This one thing.
That's a nugget, yeah.
Because I had to ask him, I'm like, what do you think was like the secret sauce with this one? What was it that like people just picked up on with the Headlock one versus like all the other ones? And he said he was like, basically because it just goes back to like when you're kids, you know, everyone just grabs you in a headlock, gives you noogies and all that. And I like immediately clicked for me. But what do you guys think was that? Aha, this was it kind of thing.
It wasn't. That was the best part.
Yeah.
There wasn't. It was it. It was literally, we were just, and I think once you start putting, you'll notice the more content you put out, the luckier you're going to get.
That's true.
And it's just that consistency. And we honestly didn't think it was, oh yeah, it's a good video. Yeah, put it out there. And, yeah. No, none of us called that. None of us. We were like, yeah, you know, just try the Headlock thing. And I mean, there was, if you look at it, like, I think
it was cut up from a video that we shot, like a horizontal video, and cut it up to a vertical video. The other thing that was a blessing about it was shorts and reels and all that just came out. Like, the internet was hungry for these types of clips. And it's like, for whatever reason, the social media gods were like, you've been chosen.
It's like the algorithm picks up certain videos and you're like, that one's really going? And
That's
I know what you mean. That's so crazy. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, when I talked to him about, but then when he said it was like, it just made a lot of sense. I was like, you're right. You know, like everybody gets into headlocks, especially even if you don't do martial arts, you have experience with like, you got bigger brothers or older siblings, or even just friends in school or whatever. You always get into like situations where someone's going to try to grab you in a headlock and how to get out. So
it went absolutely nuts. And there comes a point where it's no longer your video. The internet owns it now.
Yeah.
It's just gone. Like it takes, you couldn't keep up with the comments if you wanted to. There's 300,000 comments on it. Like it, and then all of a sudden there was like some meme that started going on. They started making Sun Tzu quotes.
Oh no, that's like the Sun Tzu quote thing. We have to go back and make a book. There's this.
Which video was that? Is that the Headlock?
Maybe it's the Headlock, but
regardless. The internet takes it over.
The internet started making like fake Sun Tzu quotes on our videos, and there's over like 100,000 fake Sun Tzu quotes.
Some of them are hilarious. Yeah,
holy crap!
Some of them are absolutely hilarious. And you know, one thing that we had to really get comfortable with when putting these videos out there is just not taking things so seriously. You know, and just having fun. And you know what? Laugh at the people making fun of it. It's funny, and you know, to be able to laugh at yourself. You know, when people start making jokes at your expense, hey, everyone's getting a laugh. You know, don't take offense. It's
due to time, you know, you've made it, right? It's like when everybody talks about you.
And so, like, but when we first started, I struggled with it so much. I was like, Kyle, take it down. They don't like it. They're making fun of it. Take it down. Take it down.
Yeah. Oh man, and we used to post some stupid looking stuff.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. And we still do.
Like we still do. Like we don't know. Like we don't know.
Yeah.
We let the internet decide what's what.
And we'll get roasted every once in a while. But then you all right. No more
wearing sunglasses in videos. Like never ever. If you're a martial artist out there listening to this right now, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna make an awesome educational video, and you're wearing sunglasses, you're making a huge mistake.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, that's good to know. That's good to know, because I actually had a video in mind. I was like, I had sunglasses on in one video. No one said anything about it, but I was like, you just never know.
But is it fighting? No!
You got lucky.
The internet hates sunglasses.
And I agree. The internet, like, it can't be beat, right? And it'll just like brutally honest with the comments. Yeah. And you're like,
and that's where you're right. You have to just go with the flow.
And you have to remember too, when you're posting, there is a small group of martial artists who are looking at the skills and analyzing it and learning from it. But when you get past a certain threshold of views, like you just have people who are just like looking at something they don't even understand, and they just want to make a comment on it, right? Making either fun of what they see or like, this is cool about that, like whatever it means to them. And that's one of our goals too with Budo Brothers, is to break it more and more and more into the mainstream of things, where like people are wondering why they're watching Kevin Goat do a headlock on their cell phone at lunchtime break. Like why is this in my feed?
And never trained it a day in their life, but now maybe they might even consider it.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you guys move forward, who is on your radar, or who, like, put it this way, who haven't you worked with that you're like looking to try to work with, or like?
The list is long, my friend.
Endless, and it really is growing. But our next drop is Kelly Warden. So that we're just getting through the final edits of that.
Yeah, Water and Steel.
Yeah, we're doing a Water and Steel seminar thing with him. And that's our next drop.
Nice. Okay, sweet. What do you guys do for leisure? Like, what is it that the Budo Brothers do when you hang? Is it all martial arts related? Gotta have some other balance, right?
But like, we have a quote: when we're not doing sweet shit, we're doing sweet shit. And what we consider
cool.
I'm sweet enough.
What we consider sweet shit is this: we truly love what we're doing. We've been blessed, not without hard work, but blessed to be in a business where we're best friends. We're in a business, so when we get to hang out and go to LA or Sacramento or the Philippines or whatever, like those trips are a lot of fun while we're working as well.
Right.
And you know, we love working on business. It consumes a lot of our time as well. Like it's
of course
it is a lifestyle. And then we also do our martial arts just for training and for fun. And we always keep up with that, you know, and we switch styles.
Yeah. And when we're not working on Budo Brothers, inevitably, it doesn't matter. Like, we cannot be together and not start talking new opportunities or just business or big picture. Where's the market's heading? We're just wired like that. And it's like, for us, it's fun. Like, that is our leisure. And that's why we are so blessed. But on things that have nothing to do with martial arts, I love skateboarding. That's my thing. Nice.
For me, I'm trying to
have that balance, right?
I'm trying to learn Spanish, and I love cooking. Like, those are like two hobbies that I have outside.
So talk to me about, because you guys have your own podcast too. It's like you guys do so much stuff.
We always have our 3 buckets of value when it comes to, can you create valuable content? Can you educate? The value bucket, that is valuable. Wow, thank you for teaching me that. I am now wiser. That is valuable to me because that's going to come in handy down the road. Can you entertain? Is this actually fun to watch? Am I lost in the moment because this is it's inspiring, it's entertaining. The last one is inspiring. Yeah. Can you inspire? If you can do all 3 of those, that is a valuable piece of content. Educate, entertain, inspire.
Wow, it's like you just said that, right?
Hey,
that's exactly it.
That's the formula.
That's the
formula. You guys got it down, man. So when you're doing your own podcast, what do you look for as far as like whether it's guests or content? What's your motivation, inspiration there? Like as you guys are plotting out things.
So yeah, we've had some really cool guests. In particular, my favorites like Lupe Fiasco and Dan Prez has been on there. Like Michael Jaw White. Like
there you go.
We've been playing around lots, but we have took a hiatus from the podcast to undertake a really big project for the both of us, and hopefully it is a new element of content that we'll be putting out. We just trademarked the term Joy-Jitsu, and we have finished writing the book and recording the audiobook, and we'll be releasing Joy-Jitsu to the world sometime this year. And Joy-Jitsu is the art of living a joyful life.
Oh, nice.
It is the martial art that we hope to share with the world.
That seems cool. Like I like the name. Honestly, like the name right away. I was like, I like that.
It's been such a huge undertaking for us, and because we're a 3-person team. It's Kyle, myself, and our operations manager Tiffany that's running this whole ship. And we realized like we can't do it all. But we do need to divert resources because this has to happen now. And so we went all in and we decided that we're going to put a pause on the podcast and relaunch it once this book is out. And so that's our next goal, is to get this book live and on wax and out there, helping people get back to their natural state that they came into this world, which is one of joy. Life just dusts it over and hides it. And through our experience in life, we're so blessed that we found joy, such abundance of joy in our lives. And we tried to string together what are all the common threads that led us to this point. And it's between our 3 stories. Our author is David Batterina. He's a published author. He was the one who actually started our podcast when we launched the podcast at the very beginning. And so we had a great relationship with him. And then when we had this idea, we're like, we got to write a book. Like, I don't know how to write a book.
Totally.
So we got David Batterina to be the author. And together, we all got together. And in one weekend, we flew him up. We turned on the recorder. And we just riffed. We just completely, whatever came, and wrote the entire book in audio form in a weekend. And then he went away and took the recording and actually put it into a book form. And I think it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I really like the audio form too, because I'm an audiobook guy. Like, we did it in our voices and his voice. We flew him up again to record that. It's been an awesome project. In school, I was put in the slow reading class, and never really. I don't like reading. I don't even like reading emails. It's not it's not something that has ever been organic to me. Listening, I learned through listening. I wish they had more audiobooks in school. So
that's why they have audiobooks.
This project was super cool because it was doing something that I never thought, and a lot of people never thought I could. And Eric even too is a little bit in the same boat because he made a bet with his brother when they were younger of who would have a book first.
yeah. Well, I told him one day, I'm like, yeah, one day I'm going to write a book. He's like, yeah, I would bet. Now we're like 9 years old or something. But he's like, there's no way. I will give you. I want to bet $1,000. And when you're a kid, $1,000 is like, what?
It's all the money in the world, right? Yeah.
Oh. So
buy a house.
Yeah. Totally. So we made that bet. But now, and I told him, like, hey, bro, I got a book coming out. He's like, you weren't the author.
Hey, I still have to sit down and do the content. Right?
Yes! You're the man now, dog.
I'm looking forward to that. What would you say were you like any words of wisdom for people out there, like to check you guys out and see where you're at now, like their dreams and like the martial arts and the entrepreneurial space, like any like words of motivation for folks out there?
I would like to just leave everyone with a very simple suggestion. Try your ideas. If you have an idea, go try it. Go try and put things in motion because it is a no-lose situation. The worst thing that can happen is you're going to learn something. And if Kyle and I can be living proof that two knuckleheads can put together an e-commerce brand and stick with it and continue to grow, we've decided we're going to be doing this for the rest of our lives. We found this is it. So we're so lucky that we found it. But if we didn't try our idea, we would not be sitting here talking to you today.
Right.
And I would say, life is short and it's long. In the way that, like, man, when you're younger, you're like, oh man, it's gonna take forever for me to get to 30. Oh, it's gonna take forever for me to get to 90. Then all of a sudden, it's fast. Where it's like, oh shit, like it's flying by. And so much of life, you just focus on like the endpoints. When I get this much in business, when I get my black belt, when I get this, when I get when, that you get paralyzed to do anything. It's like, I'll never figure out how to do that. And we've proven that it's just like, just put in the reps and work towards something, and the rest will fill itself in along the way. Because like we said from the start of this, when we put this idea in front of people, we are going to sell sticks on the internet. Flash forward with 2 million YouTube subscribers, a business that we support ourselves with and do the things we like. You couldn't have explained that to people at the beginning.
Right.
And so if we would have ended right there, it would have been very sad for our personal journey. So, if you have an ambition to create something or do something, just enjoy doing that. And make that enough.
Enjoy the process. I totally agree. As someone who's gone through a lot of things as far as like trying to attain belts and levels up and all that, but enjoying the moment is so true, because you're right. It seems like it goes slow, but it goes very quickly. It's like you look around and man, life is like speed past you if you let it. So really great words of wisdom, guys. I want to thank you for taking the time out tonight. And I'll be looking out for Jiu-Jitsu and anything new that you guys are doing as far as like new stuff with your podcast and all that. Thoroughly looking forward to that. And of course, any new products coming out. I'll be checking you guys.
We got some heavy hitters coming out.
I'm going to say that this year's ideas for products are very, very cool compared to many of the years before it. So like,
I'm excited.
There's a lot of new things on the horizon.
You guys got me excited, so just give me a little heads up, shoot me a little quick little text or something like, hey, we got this coming up, and I'll be right on the list to grab it.
We'll put you on the VIP list.
Love it. Yes, indeedy, wrapping things up again with the Budo Brothers, Kyle and Eric, back at it again. They dropped so many great nuggets in this one. Please tell me you guys took something valuable away from this.
Are we learning yet?
There's almost no way that you didn't, whether you're into martial arts or not. Something for everybody. So listen, since I know that's the case, let's talk specifics in those comments below, okay? What stuck or particularly clicked with you guys? Okay, fam, don't forget to keep up with me on all my socials around here for upcoming news on the channel. We've got a lot of things dropping very, very soon, I promise. Support us on our Patreon if you can, and you'll find even more exclusive content there. Because like I said, we've got even more cool exclusive interviews coming your way. So stay tuned, guys. My dog wants to get into the act, as you can see. Stay safe. See you all in the next round, and as usual, keep punching.
I'm Eric.
I'm Kyle.
And thank you for listening to us, the Budo Brothers.
And don't forget to subscribe to Kung Fu Chronicles because there is going to be more fire coming down the pipe.